Speaking of tyranny, let's talk a little bit about the TSA. Today, Paul Joseph Watson posted an article on Infowars.com titled TSA Rescinds Approval to Film in Response to Opt Out Campaign. The TSA has reacted to a national campaign encouraging people to opt out and film TSA procedures by removing a page on its website which admitted that recording security checkpoints is not prohibited. Basically, they've yanked it off their site. This coincides, they've obviously known about our outreach campaign that we're doing in late November. It's called the Opt Out and Film Week. That's taking place on from November the 19th to November the 26th, Thanksgiving weekend, where we're encouraging listeners, we're encouraging viewers to film TSA officials and to keep them accountable. You're on public grounds, you are not on private property. You are on taxpayer-funded property. These are public servants, and you have every right in the world to film these individuals. So Paul Joseph Watson is insinuating that this took place because of our opt-out program and our film program, Film the TSA. And so they're doing everything they can to prevent us from doing this. So we encourage people, I'm going to be doing it that week, to go to your local airport. You don't have to have an airport ticket. Obviously, when you check somebody out, a family member, and they're traveling, you could still enter the airport. You don't have to be traveling. So bring your camera, film these public servants, and let's see what occurs. But there was recently a film, and it was posted on Infowars.com today, of an individual in Puerto Rico who was filming the TSA, and they basically harassed him for about 10 minutes for filming. After 10 minutes, they took his camera. He told them, "Give me my camera back. I'm going to call the police." They finally realized that what they were doing was unlawful, but they did erase most of the confrontation before they gave him back the camera, but he still was able to keep about 11 seconds of the confrontation, and we're going to go to that video right now.
Oh, hey, you can.
Really? I can't. Wait, don't touch.
You can.
I can touch.
So there you go, like godlike creatures, they tell you, do not film them. They're godlike creatures. You're not allowed to film them. A complete violation of people's First Amendment. Again, these are public servants. Your salary, your tax dollars pay for their salary. That's like an employer walking into his business and his employees say, "What are you doing? Don't question me." These people work for you. So we encourage you on November the 19th through the 26th, just take a little camera. You don't have to have a plane ticket. You don't have to be going anywhere. And just film the TSA. And by the way, try wearing some of those TSA T-shirts that we have on InfoWarsShop.com. We have shirts that say, "End the TSA groping since 2001. It's okay. You can politely mock them. You know, you don't have to be afraid of them. These are public servants, and they work for us." And there you go. You've got some TSA shirts right there that we've got on InfoWarsShop.com. End the TSA groping since 2001. That's a popular one here at the studio. So feel free to get one of those shirts when you go film these individuals. Again, you're doing nothing wrong. Courts have said that it's completely lawful to videotape these individuals as long as you obviously don't go into the terminal and past the security point. And that'll be a great thing to do. I'll be doing that come late November. And this also comes on the heels of another video that we showed last week of TSA officials telling visitors at airports to stop on command, almost like a lapdog, and they would just tell people to stop. And here's video on Infowars.com of the godlike creatures, the TSA, telling members of the public to freeze on command, like golden retrievers. And look at what the sheeple do. Some of them very nice people. They don't want to create a ruckus. Other people just in a complete trance-like state, just doing whatever the TSA officials tell them. There you go. You're allowed to move. God has given you authority to move. And they, you know, people just follow them. So there you go. Let's keep an eye on the TSA. And speaking of the tyranny that the TSA partakes in other news, this was also on Infowars.com, TSA hired defrocked Camden priest without a background check. According to this article, the TSA hired the former priest before before completing a background check, the agency recently confirmed. According to a church document, the diocese revealed to the TSA in 2003 as part of the background check that Harkins, his name is Thomas Harkins, had been removed from ministry because of allegations he had molested 2 grade school girls. Harkins was never criminally prosecuted, but the diocese settled civil lawsuits for $195,000. So there you go. That's who you have there. And from what the article says, it says that he's received promotions. He's received promotions, and he should. He should. That's what, you know, if you like groping people and touching people's genitals, you're TSA material. You're TSA material. So that what Thomas Harkin has received promotions, and I think his salary is up to about $76,000. So there you go. That's who's protecting you. And in other TSA news, ABC recently reported that an individual by the name of Pythias Brown, he's a convicted TSA officer, reveals secrets of thefts at airports. According to Mr. Pythias Brown, he says it was very commonplace, very commonplace. He's a former TSA officer at Newark's Liberty International Airport in New Jersey. He was a former TSA officer. He admits he stole more than $800,000 worth of items from luggage and security checkpoints over a 4-year period. Mr. Brown says, quote, it was very convenient to steal, and the only reason why he got caught is because he put a camera on eBay, and it had the CNN sticker on it. He stole a CNN camera, and it had the CNN sticker on it. But he says $800,000, that's just what he got caught with. He probably stole well over $1 million. Now, the TSA is saying that only about 1% of their representatives has been prosecuted for theft. But again, that's only people who have been prosecuted against. According to Mr. Brown, he says, again, it was very convenient and common to steal. Alex has talked about on his radio show how they stole some of his kid items, some of the items of his kid. I think a toothing ring, if that's what you call it, a very expensive Tiffany rattle, a Tiffany rattle. And so this is a very common practice. TSA is saying only about 1% of their individuals do this. But if only 1% could steal millions of dollars worth of items, that is a very, very serious issue. So again, participate in our outreach effort that we're doing in late November to out these individuals. Not all TSA people are bad people. As a matter of fact, most of them are probably good people, but there is a large minority of them that they get off on groping people. So there you go.